Anyway, I've been blowing my hands because that sometimes helps me to start. Ready? Hi, welcome to my multidimensional living room. I have hair in my eyes. I'm gonna be painting energies. If something finds you in the right place at the right time and helps you connect the dots, then that's great. And if it doesn't, then it might be for or from somebody else. There might be somebody on the planet right now who really needs to see what I'm doing or really needs to hear what I'm saying. So if you like, comment, share, subscribe, and do all these good things, you increase the likelihood that this reaches them and that I don't get stuck forever in this realm of YouTube. I would highly appreciate that. So thank you for supporting the channel and my work. And if it really doesn't resonate with you, like you can't handle being here, feel free to leave and feel free to come back whenever you're ready. Please use your intuition and your discernment. It's very important. Not just here, but like anywhere. I feel like the painting is telling me, in this very incomplete state yet, go hiking. Yeah, go hiking. Go find a hill or a mountain and just go hang out with that piece of rock. Go. And ask whatever questions you might have there. Not at home. There. I was getting the vision before I came here of a mushroom. And in this context here, the mushroom represents a map of a connection between two or more people. So, as I keep going talking about the mushroom, see it as a map. It showed up first as a stem. It wasn't an organic mushroom that grew like mushroom growth. First it was a stem, and that stem was kind of like a narrow, kind of like this, kind of like a narrow hallway of life where you meet somebody. And you meet them first time, you have a great time, and then you meet them another time. You have a great time, and then you be like, wow, this is fun, let's meet each other another time. And you have a great time. And you have kind of like this hallway is kind of like a controlled environment. There is not much space for you to see how that person really fit into your life. How would your other aspects hang out with their other aspects? You don't really get enough time and space to determine who are they really or who are you really as a result of interacting with them. You don't know a lot of things. And maybe you're wondering and maybe you're not, because maybe not knowing is so satisfying so that you don't even question. So that's a stem. And then you come to the point of meeting this person or people enough time that the roof of the mushroom appears. It's not roof, it's like, how do you call that part of the mushroom? Cap? Yeah, I'm gonna call it a roof. The roof appears, and suddenly you have more space to explore the mushroom, or the map of this connection. So you can go left and right and up and down and inside and outside, and you can hide in these pores of the mushroom, or you can go down and you can do a lot of stuff with the mushroom. And you can also, as you start exploring the mushroom as if it's a new field, as if it's a house that you get to explore for the first time, you start seeing this other energy that is on the other side from multiple perspectives, and you start seeing how it looks when you stand far away from it, and then how it looks when you come close to it, how it looks when you put it up and you go down, and how it looks the other way around, how it looks when you're on the mushrooms and on the mushroom and they are not, or the other side as well. And you start getting more insights that show you that perhaps the reason why you met that person is not really why you thought you met them. You might have thought that this is just a funny encounter of, yeah, somebody that you're just having a great time with. But then it turns out that they're totally not just that. Like if you thought like, oh, they're just a coworker that happens to be very compatible with my whatever interest. Turns out that they are way much more than that, because they have power to activate your heart or your special gifts or your purpose or something. That song that you're working on. Or it turns out that they are wolf in sheep's clothing, presenting themselves as somebody that you can have fun with and trust and feel safe with, but then you enter that mushroom and you realize that they're actually quite a big red flag. Not just a flag, but the whole mushroom is red. And here, like, I hear very loud and clear, I heard you asking, was I supposed to notice that any sooner? Was I supposed to see it sooner? Was I supposed to know? If this finds you in this exactly right moment of your life when you're evaluating whether somebody is friend or not, and you notice that they might not be your friend at all, and you see how perhaps there were signs, but you didn't see them, you didn't want to see them, or maybe there weren't signs. Maybe there were not, maybe you can't really look back and see like, oh yeah, I've seen that, but I decided not to pay attention to it because it felt so good. I'm sensing like a huge cloud that is quite dense of hypervigilance that is imposed onto us humans, that you need to inform and educate yourself. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but that you should be very well informed about warnings, red flags, call it as you want, so that you can save yourself from suffering, so that you can save your time, save your energy, so that you don't have to go through a painful process of abuse or why is it so hard for me to look into this? Abuse or any kind of painful process that you might go through as a result of interacting with this person. But what I'm seeing in this moment as an answer to that question, if you've been asking yourself, was I supposed to see it earlier? The answer is no, you weren't. Because there is something that happens as a result of you coming together with this energy, where something is activated or reawakened inside of you, or something you became aware of as a result, that you kind of had to go through this process of getting to know this other energy in order to, I don't know, like write that song, open your heart, become inspired about something or something else. And it's not even just about the result of it all, as much as it is about, and this is where I feel like that's the most important, is that you have to allow yourself to just simply walk the map of the connection with that energy. You just kind of had to walk through it, not outsmart it up front so that you can avoid having life. but actually have the experience of moving from one encounter into the second encounter, into the third encounter, and then the fourth encounter, and to the fifth encounter that led you to the top of the mushroom. You realize, like, I don't really vibe with this person. Yeah. And here you perhaps also see how, this can like manifest itself in so many different ways for different people, so I'm not going to try to be specific, but you may also see how that wolf in sheep's clothing reflects an aspect of you that kind of wants to prevent you from interacting with another life field that might not even be in your vision, or not even in the periphery. Or it might be in the periphery, but it's so in the periphery that this seems more immediate. And you kind of know deep down or somewhere that you are supposed to go there. You want to go there. Maybe you've already been clear to yourself that you want to go there. But then there's that one aspect of you who's like, no. I don't want to go there. It's scary. It's dark over there. I don't see what's in the dark. And then whoever is in front of you becomes and it holds you back. Or it might be that it kind of, you notice that it carries an energy of some connection that you already outgrown 13 years ago. But you never ever, in this time span from between then and now, you never actually closed it off for real, like energetically. Like, yeah, you didn't talk to that person for 13 years. Yeah, you don't even want to. Yeah, you've been clearing your energy who knows how many times ever since. But there is something about them that if this person shows up in your dream, there will be an energetic response to them that is kind of unresolved. That wouldn't be there if you actually disconnected fully, closed that fully, accepted it, it's done, it's over. And so this person that you are now evaluating from the mushroom carries perhaps the same energy like that person from the past. It reminds you of them. Maybe not of them, but of the process that you need to kind of finish, so that you can then redirect your energy somewhere else. Perhaps over there. However it shows up for you. It reveals to me that as you're walking across this mushroom, and especially over the roof of the mushroom, you're seeing more and more of that person and what role they're playing in your life. And you're seeing more and more of yourself through it. And I'm hearing, have patience while you're walking over that mushroom. Have patience with yourself. And if you really have to go down from it, you will know when it's the time to leave the mushroom. Yeah. At the end of the video, I'm going to take a photo of this painting and then I'm going to put it at the end so that you can look at it for your own introspection. I feel like this question of like, should I have known better, should I have known before, goes way back it's like, it's a very old question, it's a very long question, it exists for like an extended period of time. And yeah, there are multiple answers that can be given to you, but what I can say from here, from the standpoint of this painting, is you had to walk through that experience, and that in and of itself is the point. Just go through that experience, just walk from one point to another, and just have the experience of walking. This painting behind me now speaks to me. Because I had this painting for like over a year now. I already thought about taking it down. It's called Soul Blueprint. And a couple of days ago I've been sitting and watching the painting. And I've seen it quite differently for the first time after a year. I've seen it differently. It was as if the painting actually spoke to me for the first time, and now it keeps speaking to me. It showed me how when you come to the planet Earth as a life form, your life is by default, for you as an essence, as a soul, rigged in your favor. Take that however it applies to you, however it resonates with you. And then it's also part of the human experience that you think, believe, and convince yourself that perhaps it's not. And I've been looking at it, at that corner over there where the spiral is. I've been looking into this spiral, and that spiral was this endless thinking that something could go wrong, will go wrong, something is wrong already, something has been wrong for a very long time, and that wrong is kind of just spinning itself. And then there is this classic meditation-like scenario, atmosphere, room of the mind, where you think and you spiral and you convince yourself that things are wrong and they're gonna go wrong and they have been wrong for a while, for a long time. And then finally you notice that all of this is just your mind entertaining itself. And as you see your thoughts in the mental field as what it is, it's a mental field, you also realize that there is space beyond your thoughts. Not talking about the observer, because there is this like observer of your thoughts, and it's just like you can see your thoughts and be like, yeah, they're just my thoughts. This is more like, because observer is also some sort of like an identity, right? But this is more like a field, like a dense, deep field that doesn't have a sense of self. It just is life itself that starts talking to you as an observer and says things like, you thought I was joking you? You thought I was kidding you? You thought your life is a joke? Like, you really thought that your life is not rigged in your favor? Like, you really thought that? And then it was like, you thought I was kidding you, but it was actually you were kidding yourself. And now I'm hearing it again. Hearing this song from Blow Me, One Last Kiss. You think I'm just as serious? I think you're full of shit. That's what's coming through. The way I'm seeing the soul blueprint is kind of like it's like, yeah, it's like an energetic code. I could talk about this painting alone for an eternity, but I'm also seeing it kind of like this membrane between physical and unphysical. Physical and non-physical, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like this border between body and soul. But you can also place it anywhere. Border between realms. Or it's not like a border, it doesn't really separate things. It does separate, but it's permeable. Things come through one way or another. It doesn't only show up in between realms and in this like astral spaces, but also in between people. That's where I'm seeing it also. It's like when you interact with other energies, that's where it shows itself to be. And so you can have like a great time with this person or these people that you meet over and over again. Be like, wow, they're so cool, let's do it again, let's do it again. You can have a really great time with them for an extended period of time, but then there might be like one aspect of them that doesn't really sit well with you. Perhaps they have a different financial reality that they're living in that is kind of outside of your comfort zone, or perhaps they don't feel comfortable in their own bodies and it shows. Or perhaps they inhabit something that you worked your entire life, or I don't know how much time, you really trained yourself to get over that, to heal that, to transform that, to do better for yourself, and then you see this other person and they just don't give a shit. They just don't give a shit. They're totally unaware that that trait that you worked on for so long to transform it might be any undesirable to them. And so when you're around them, in whatever case it might be, you're not fully yourself. In order to keep the comfortable atmosphere between the two of you or more of you, you kind of take an aspect of yourself back a little bit. You contract a little bit, like your energy field contracts. Just enough. So that when you leave that person and you put yourself in a neutral space, you go back into your baseline, you come home at the end of the day, you feel like you picked up the energy from another field, from another person, or from another... You picked up energy of the other, but it's actually your own contraction that kind of sticks to you and is being just kind of mirrored back to you. And it gives you a choice to either relax and open up, and to remain open up, knowing that perhaps this other energy might never meet you in the openness of your field. It gives you a choice to see that it's the other energy. It's definitely them, it's not you. And expect that perhaps they should change so that you could feel better. Or you could just not feel better. But there is this choice of remaining closed off, shut down, overly protected, or not. And also judgmental, or not. I feel like this is a little bit of a challenge, to remain open. Yeah. I feel like this is what this situation is kind of teaching here, is to remain open, knowing that perhaps the other person or people or energies are just not going to meet you in this openness. I see more of this like energetic this soul blueprint applied into interpersonal connection, more like an information point. Yeah. It informs you about the other side. It informs you about what enters your field. It informs you about where do you contract. It informs you about what makes you you in this interaction. Where do you expand and where do you contract? And the same for the other person or the other energy, whatever is on the other side. informative. There's a symbol that showed up through the paint. I don't know what does it mean, but it's like a circle with a line in the middle. I did it now again deliberately because I saw that it already happened, so if that means something to you, maybe that's something you need to pay attention to. I feel like this painting has, I'm just checking when. Is the camera gonna stop recording? I feel like this painting has a lot to say in details. There's always something going on with circles. Something is always inside of the circle. And going through the circle. Take that however it speaks to you. I'm gonna end the painting here. It's been a pleasure. But even greater pleasure is always to do a personal painting, so if that's something you would like to experience, please check the links down below. Other than that, thank you for being here.